Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the next episode of Jigga Set Radio. We are on air with our next guest, Businessman Cam. Y'all welcome to the stage, the show. I control the sound effects and stuff. Well, welcome to the show.
Can I hit the button one time?
No. Can you move a little closer? You try to get your good side.
Dang, where's my nose ring?
Oh my God. Y'all got that? So when we release the visuals for this podcast, you'll see that he was actually looking for his nose ring. There's a few little church announcements we want to, before we dive all the way into it. Govern yourselves accordingly. Welcome to Sunday Funday. We had a shot before we got on here, mainly because somebody, shout out to Inebriation Station, scan the QR code if you're feeling nice and generous. So we had to give someone a shot. And we took one as a group, including production, because he was feeling a little nervous coming on here. Aren't you used to being on the camera?
What? Nah, absolutely not.
Okay, all right. So
let's talk about Instagram or, something subtle like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, so he was so nervous, and we gave him a shot, and it seems like he's in transition. He's almost here. He's smiling now. Oh, well, he was smiling before, but it was like a cringy smile. But now this is like an effortless smile, so it's cool. Like it's a whole different facial muscle that's being used. So welcome to the show. So excited to have you on here. We had to pull a little teeth to get you to book the appointment too. Did we not?
We did.
Mm-hmm. It's like it went to the dentist. God damn.
Orthodontist or, there's different types of dentists.
Either one, the person that tried to get you on the show had a hard time, so it's okay.
Yeah, I've been in a hibernation mode for about like a little over a year or so. Kind of like that. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok where it's like, you need to wake that monster up. Mm-hmm. That monster is like my social side. So, yeah, he's starting to wake back up, and I'm actually glad to be here. I'm enjoying it. And it's also kind of like a challenge. This is my first, well, actually, it's my second podcast I've been on. First one was kind of just like trial and error, just to help a friend out.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a little nervous, but I'm excited. Let's get it done.
Well, let's get into it. So let's talk about this hibernation first. What made you go into this hibernation? Well, actually, let's back up for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about who you are. Let's tell the world who you are first, and then we'll get into this hibernation.
I am many things. I've been learning that. I've been learning myself, going on like this whole spiritual journey. So when you say who I am, I don't even know where to begin, but just in general, let's start with my name. My name's Cameron Curtis Pruitt, the first. I am a business.
I'm just thinking, do people say the first one, like if they're just the first? I would say right? Jamie Lee Turner the first. Like, never said that in my life. But go ahead.
See, I picked that up in college, and I just like, how everybody had the little catchphrases and stuff. So Every time when I would introduce myself, when I got up in the Black Student Association, NAACP, all that, everybody would know me as Cameron Curtis Pruitt the first. I just will always say that and stand out because I thought about it. I am the first, and God damn it, y'all gonna know it.
I'm here for all of it.
I love that explanation.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It works. So yes, go ahead. You were going through the various things that you are, but trying to narrow it down because you say you're so many things.
Okay. I am a business owner. So my other name is Businessman Cam, as you pointed out earlier. Mm-hmm. I work with virtual assistants. I do business consultations, helping startup entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses. I do credit repair, business credit. People do not know the power of credit, which maybe we can talk about a little later.
We're absolutely going to get into that because you're one of the first guests to talk about.
Pun intended.
All puns intended, actually. You're one of the first guests that we had to actually mention business credit. So we're definitely going to dive into that a little later. Is that it? That's all the hat you're wearing? Because your head looks a little heavy. That's all the hat you're wearing today?
Ooh, heavy is the head that wears a crown.
Hey, okay. Sounds like an Empire reference.
Yeah, it was.
See, look at me. I know. All right, so let's talk about the hibernation. Let's circle back to the hibernation. So what made Cameron take in hibernation?
Ooh, Ooh, life.
Life was life, man.
So yeah, it really was.
Mm-hmm.
It was COVID. So when I graduated from college, actually I'll start it with high school. When I graduated from high school, I didn't know I got accepted into UTA, strange as that was. So I ended up becoming a massage therapist.
Wait, how do you not know you got accepted?
It was I don't know if I didn't get the acceptance letter or I didn't really understand too much. Being coming from my parents, my mom didn't go to college. My dad went to college, but he never really talked about it too much or the process and whatnot. Of course, he got my mom pregnant and then he didn't finish. So they didn't really have too much knowledge on the background. So maybe I don't know. Or maybe I just wasn't involved enough with the college process. I don't know. I don't know.
My gosh.
Anyways. So I became a massage therapist, worked for a franchise, became a manager of a massage studio, went back to school so I can further develop it because a lot of my family are business owners. My papa, he owned his own business, auto mechanic shop. My mom, she's done hair all her life and been very successful with it too. And so I've always had this passion to own my own business. So I went to college to be, learn my bachelor's business. Learn business management.
Okay.
These drinks right here.
Man, I want to meet the bartender. Man. Or the mixologist. Look in the mirror. Hit me.
So I got my dual degree in business management and marketing.
Nice. Shout out to that.
Right.
He's so dramatic. So dramatic.
Then after that, I got my master's in business administration. Went to go work for Hertz. Was pretty much the only one at that location that had a master's. But I wasn't getting paid the money, and I was working right underneath the general manager. And so, I was just completely unhappy there. So that's when I started going through the phase of okay, what am I really supposed to be doing?
Right.
So then after that, COVID hit. So
the time frame on this was roughly 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then COVID hit, and we all lost our jobs because
that hurts.
It was pretty much a travel industry. We went from renting out 2,000 cars a day to barely booking one. Didn't nobody want to get in that COVID infested car that they all thought it was.
Right.
So got laid off. Then I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. My boyfriend at the time, he was a teacher. He recommended becoming a teacher. So I shifted over to being a business teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I mean, the kids were cool. The kids liked me.
What age group were you?
I was teaching 6th graders.
So you were just teaching. You wasn't a business coach at that point. You were just teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I was a business teacher. I was just teaching them how to use Word, Microsoft, PowerPoint, and all that good stuff.
Okay.
And I enjoy teaching them skills that they're going to use in life.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I'm like, God, I really don't want to do this either. I feel like I want to teach more adults. The kids were cool, but it just wasn't necessarily my calling. And so after that, I came across some mentors, Recession Proof, Him 500. I don't know if you heard of them. And they taught us different ways to leverage credit. Mm-hmm. I leveraged my credit, started all my businesses, and then I became their chapter representative for the Dallas chapter. Started helping everyone grow their businesses and whatnot. But then I just got kind of burnt out.
And that's when the hibernation.
Yeah. And also other life stuff, me and my boyfriend broke up. So
Gotcha.
And just having to do a lot of self-discovery. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, I'm here for that. So you talked about being essentially moving into education, right? Mm-hmm. And so not recognizing that the little kids wasn't exactly the audience you wanted to teach, but started actually falling in love with coaching adults, mm-hmm. and more specifically about their credit. Mm-hmm. And so you say you leveraged your credit. So walk us through, because we did say we want to talk about credit, business credit, and everything that's going to be surrounding that. So as an entrepreneur myself, I know that personal and business credit, especially starting off, your personal credit has to be at a good range for you to kick off your business credit, right? It's like a little spinoff, like, you know.
Yeah, a lot of the banks now these days, they will go back and look at your personal credit. Because it's kind of like, all right, well, if he's handling his personal credit, then surely he'll do good with his business as well.
Right.
So they kind of, like a lot of the banks, they'll still go back, and that's where they talk about like personal guarantee. So
PGs, yes.
Yeah, PGs. So there's a lot of different banks out there. Like there's also fintechs, financial tech companies like Capital on Tap. That's one of the business credit cards I got. And you don't have to have like a super high credit score. You could be in the 600s. And what they'll go based off the information you submit to them, like there'll be like a no-doc program. So of course you want to put like how much business revenue you're expected to bring in, what you're bringing in. They gave me a $20K Capital on Tap card that I used to help fund my business.
Nice.
And then of course, you know, you get the reward points and all that, cash rewards. And so learning how to flip that and, you know, help pay for different types of bills for the business as well.
Okay. That is all great information. We're going to actually ask a few more questions on that. So for someone, let's just say because you mentioned helping startups, consulting with businesses that are starting up and all those things. So people that are looking to start up their business, like what would you say a basic checklist of things that you need to start up that business and get funding? Like what would one look for and where can they find it at?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and take a sip of either alcohol or non-alcohol drink that you have in front of you.
I'm gonna take one too.
I haven't even opened mine up yet.
So you late to the party? Gonna open it?
I wanted some more juice.
You're supposed to be like Lizzo, all about the juice, got the juice.
You have a Lizzo fan in the building?
Can do.
Oh, okay.
Careful,
You want to sing a little something for us?
No.
Oh, wow.
He's more of a dancer. So the question...
You know what?
I mean, I think that would be a lovely segment. See, this is another reason why y'all should make sure y'all get ready for these visuals so y'all don't miss out on
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, all that.
So basic checklist for startup businesses. What would you say or recommend as a business coach?
So depending on the business, you want to make sure...
That's why I wanted to know some more. Go ahead.
And we're back.
Oh, man, we definitely need the visual for that one.
The memes that we're going to do.
Oh, gosh. I felt that was a memeable offense.
I'm gonna
This thing's strong as shit.
I think it would be a beautiful gift as well.
What would be a meme?
No. You can also turn that into a gift as well. You know, where you see the people, you send the little messages like...
Right. Really. I'm going to submit.
I wonder what that would be for, like, what expression you would use that for, like...
When you had that first sip from any drink from Marty's.
Cut.
First thing, define what your business is, of course. You want to go ahead and register with Secretary of State, create it into an LLC, or, if you want to do sole proprietorship.
What would be the difference, for the people that don't know, what would be the difference between going the sole proprietor route versus LLC, S Corp, et cetera? What would be the circumstances in which you would choose either one of those?
Gotcha. Okay, so I'll speak mainly to sole proprietorship, partnership, and LLCs.
Okay.
So sole proprietorship, you are your business.
Right.
So, like, if you say, my mom, for example, Jasmine's Hair and Accessories, she has a DBA, she's doing business as. However, at the end of the day, she is that business. And she has to file her taxes accordingly as the business owner, not the business owner, but Tanya Pruitt is Jasmine Hair and Accessories. So if anything were to happen, let's say, I don't know, Lord forbid, she puts some chemicals on somebody's head and all their hair fall out. She's liable for it. Right. So they can go after her, all her assets and whatnot. As opposed to if it was an LLC, she isn't the business.
Right.
The business is its own entity. Exactly. So they would go after Jasmine's Hair and Accessories. Tanya Pruitt, she's perfectly fine. I mean, in a sense, kind of, but not really. Her business is kind of
right.
attacked,
Yeah. So it's they would attack legally they would attack the business if something were to happen, not her, because she is not the business
a
LLC.
And then of course there's different tax benefits of. But I'm not a tax expert, so I ain't gonna speak to that.
Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. All right. So we have the sole proprietor partnership versus LLC. So either one register with the state of Texas or whatever state you're in, just to generalize it. All right. What's the next thing?
So, like I said, once you establish what it is, and while you're in the filing process, you want to pick the correct NAICS code. And so that's just putting in what category that your business is.
It's like six numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay.
So with that, once you define it, you want to come up with a name, something reasonable. Now, if you're in the trucking industry, like, or if you're in the credit repair industry, there's high risk industries that banks look out for because, a lot of people start these up and they fail. So credit repair, for example, my business is called I Ought to Fix, as in I ought to fix my credit. So they're not generally going to know what it is that
based on the name itself.
Yeah, based off the name. So you want to pick a general name because, you define what your business is. The name doesn't necessarily have to. Right. It would be probably good for marketing, but at the end of the day, like let's say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola made their own name. Right. And we know it today as Coca-Cola. But
or Coke.
That part too.
It just depends on the conversation. Yeah. But yes.
So name, you want to make sure you have a decent name. You want to make sure you're registered. You want to also make sure you're registered with, not registered, but have a virtual address, because if they look it up and see that, you're working outside of your home, they're not going to take it seriously. Right. So there's a lot of places where you can get a virtual address, like Dallas Business Lounge, of course. So again, you want to make sure you have a good virtual address. Another thing that they look at is how long you've been doing business. But of course, if you've been if you're just now starting, then you're building up your business credit. There's ways to get around that. The business age, you can buy a Wyoming Shelf Corporation, which is, they have LLCs and whatnot that you can buy that are already established. All you do is you just buy those and you change them into whatever your business is. Just like a LLC, like I said before, is its own entity, just like you and me. People change their names. So your business can change its name. Right. So then you want to establish that. Okay. So those are a couple of the things. I know I'm kind of like rambling. No, this is all good information. Like I was telling you before the podcast started, like you may say something that someone else can pick up on and actually use. And then ignite the fire of this about. Yes. Someone, and you were talking about earlier, or we were talking about earlier about like, just getting up and just do something, like the podcast, just getting up and just do something. Like just start, you got to start somewhere, right? And so having that information, that's giving someone direction on like how to go ahead and go about doing that process. Because a lot of people just don't know. And I say this, and I use this word very lightly because I know people are going to talk about me. Ignorance. Ignorance is not just ignorant, and ignorance are two different things, right? So if you're ignorant, that means just position yourself to gain that knowledge. And by you being here and providing that knowledge, now they're in a position to do something. You weaponize them, allow them to go ahead and pull the trigger and fire. So I'll drop one more. So for me, how I got started, I always had a decent credit score. There's a thing you can do called personal funding. So what this is, your credit score isn't important. And what I mean by that is, it's what's on the report. Right. Because my grandma, who really doesn't have much on her report, can have like an 800 credit score. The only thing she got on there is probably like a car note, just one item. Right. Because, back then they didn't really believe in credit. So, so she could have an 800 score. My score right now could be a 620, but they would probably approve me for way more money once they actually look at the report and see like I got like 30 something accounts on there. My credit card utilization is like 100,000. I have like 2 to 3 inquiries on there. my credit age is like 8 years old.
Right.
So I've been dealing with credit for a long period of time. So they look at the report and they see like, okay, he stacks up really well. We can give him, we see on here, he's handled $100,000 loan before, as opposed to my grandma who's only handled a car note for about like a $15,000 car.
Oh, okay.
So they would trust me more with way more money.
Right. So, and you kind of touched on it. I was going to ask next, like, how important is it to have a diverse credit profile?
Oh,
personal and business wise.
Extremely, extremely. So when it comes to personal credit, what I was able to do was I went and applied to several different banks at the same time, because the reason with that is that inquiries, when they see inquiries on there, they look at you like, okay, he just went and applied here. If you go apply at Chase and then you go apply at Bank of America, then you go apply at Wells Fargo, they're going to look at you like you're fishing for money.
Exactly.
But there's a trick to it. If you know where the banks pull from, because the banks are either going to pull from the 3 credit bureaus, it's going to be Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian.
Right.
If you know specifically where they pull from, then you can generate one inquiry if you apply for them all at the same time. So I did my research. I basically did personal funding, and what it got me was $135K in personal funds.
Nice.
Because people are more likely to approve you for credit cards than they are for actual loans.
Right.
Yeah. And so then you use that money and then you funnel it into your business, generating business income. Then you can go into fintech companies. Fintech companies are different from banks. They're still banks, but they're a little bit different. They go based off like your revenue.
Gotcha.
So that's another way. But once you get that credit card from them as well, then that's also showing like credit history building up on your business report.
Right.
So that's kind of a way to get started, and it can be done within 6 months. I don't think I answered your question, though.
I think you did a long time ago.
Did I? Ooh, inebriation station, y'all. Shout out.
So,
The bartender.
I'm pretty sure you can find him. It's me. So, shit is strong as shit. Anyway, so that is amazing, and so we're still here with Cameron, y'all.
Businessman Cam.
/
Cameron Curtis Pruitt.
I'm not doing that. So,
give me my credits. Return to sender.
Okay, exactly. So, I've been calling you. How come you don't refer to yourself as a business coach? Because you say business teacher. I thought that's cute, but why not business coach? Is there a reason why you go with business teacher instead?
Oh, I don't think I said neither.
You sure did. You said business teacher.
I said business. No, yeah. When I was I was a business teacher for the students. Like literally, I taught business to the students.
So you don't consider yourself a business coach?
I guess I can. I never went along and just started saying, I'm a business coach, business consultant.
How do you refer to yourself? Like when people
businessman Cam.
Okay.
And blue.
Because we're doing what?
You be thinking big, bitch.
There's a lot of business consultants and coaches out there. I am businessman Cam.
The first.
I may add that on there too.
Yeah. I'm going to clown it. Anyway, so my next question for you is success stories. Like, what is that feeling you get when you've helped someone like achieve that next level for their business? They're getting funding. They're making progress. They're making traction. Like, what does it feel like for you when you know that you were part of the reason, or mainly the reason why they got this money to scale?
I mean, it's no other way to put it. It feels good. I'm just saying.
Well, let's talk about like with your first successful story, like as a businessman Cam, the first. Yeah, let's talk about your first success story. It's got hot in here. What the fuck?
Shout out to Inebriation Station. Thank you so much.
This is why the people be stumbling out of the damn room.
Or end up on the floor.
Hell, I might be the one that's on the floor this time from my own damn show. Shit. So yeah, success story. First success story as the first of the Cam business series.
I guess it was a couple of people. Some like friends, some family. Who was the exact first? because I kind of just started working on some people for free. Just to kind of perfect the craft and make sure it's working.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I'll say my Aunt Pinky for one. She's a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And so we worked on cleaning up. Ooh, cuts. Cuts.
Damn, why you gonna cut the whole deal?
Yo, we cut? You want me to cut?
I just thought about, a lot of people, they have life issues. Something comes up, miss a bill or something like that.
Right.
So it's just hindering them. So anyways, got the items off her credit. She was in a good standpoint to go for funding. The things you need to go for funding, you need on your personal credit report. First off, you need 10 positive trending accounts. You want to be at least like 2 to 3 inquiries per credit bureau. Then you also want to have 100% payment history. Credit age 3 years or above, I would say is fine.
Okay.
Trying to think. Your credit utilization, you want to have under 10%.
Okay.
And so she was in that good standpoint there. And she didn't want many cards. She was more of like an older lady. They don't want too much. They just, I just want something, like a little gas card that I can use for my truck.
Right.
So, anyways, I had her go apply for Capital on Tap. She got her a quick little 10K card. And so she was able to use that to help, pay for bills and whatnot. And it was just exciting for her to now have another resource to use instead of coming out of her like wages. Of course, she's going to like pay it, but that extra break allows her to help scale from there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I was just grateful to help her with that.
Mm-hmm.
On the personal side, I would say helping people get like houses and I thought you was about to hit a button. I'm about to say, what did I say?
No, see, why are you so scared? That's so scary. Go ahead.
I had a friend, like she's been wanting to get like a house. So just cleaning up that personal credit to where she can finally get the house of her dreams. Because not only do not business coaches, inebriation station.
I planted that seed.
Not only do I help like entrepreneurs, but like I like coaching individuals as well. More so, I don't necessarily want to fix your credit for you. I want you to empower you to take the steps to help yourself. Because there's a lot of people that, college, student loans, all that stuff that they had issues with. And so after they fix it, then they're able to get like their dream car, dream house and whatnot. So those are some of the success stories that we've had over here.
Okay. And so still here with Businessman Cam. I am going to the first. I swear, if I see a new I'm sick of it. If I see that numerical one after, I'm gonna die.
Let me pull out my Instagram real quick. Make sure it's not taken. Y'all don't take it. Yeah. Have y'all ever got your account jacked by like somebody
Hacked.
online?
He said jacked.
No, jacked too. Somebody can break in and take it. I guess jacked and hacked is the same thing.
I mean, hacked tech world. Physically breaking into someone's car and got jacked.
I think it's perspective. Who are we talking to today? Who's out there, audience?
Right, everybody. The world. The comments roll in later on.
Okay.
So we're here, we're drinking, we're sipping, and we're talking business. That's actually the best combination. I love being able to talk business and just be casual with it, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're doing here, and we're educating the masses in the same breath. So how important is it to trust the process? Because there's people like, okay, so I'll be honest with myself. I had a company, I'm going to keep them anonymous, that was initially working on my personal / business credit, more so the personal side. And I felt some of the different methods that they were using, I wasn't familiar with. And since I am a control freak, I was a little apprehensive. I don't like that little...
No, I mean, it's there.
Pray about it. So I don't like... I was a little apprehensive about moving forward. And of course, when you're paying money for a service, and you're kind of like because everyone's results are going to be different. Not two people are going to have the same type of traction, right? Yeah. And so that's why I wanted to ask you how important it is to trust the process.
You know, initially when you asked that question, I thought you were really like, how initially is it to trust the process in higher being, lower spirit, whatever you.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking that, dude.
Like as an entrepreneur. Like,
I mean, we can come back to that. Having that connection, yeah, we can come back to that.
But let's talk. We'll get back to the credit portion of it. So, I mean, it depends on who you're dealing with. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, there are some people, you know, they get into the business, they don't necessarily know what they're doing. They give you all these promises. Because I've literally had so many customers be like, man, I gave them like 2 bands. And then they went ghost on me. Or they fixed it, but then 2 months later, my credit went back down. So, but then I got to follow up. Well, did they fix it? And then you started going crazy. Because I do have some clients, like, as soon as they see that point go up,
they start clowning.
Man, I'm like, and then, like, I'm not going to see it. Like, I see you got, like, you just racked up like 20 inquiries trying to get a car.
Oh, shit.
Like, I didn't say we were done. Just because you went up 100 points. Nah, it ain't time yet.
Yes.
Let's just set you up for success.
Yes.
So anyways, again, it depends on who you're dealing with. You want to make sure you do your research on them, you know, check their reviews and whatnot. And it is a process. I mean, just think of it this way. You messed it up over time. It does take time to fix it. Yes. Credit repair is not a overnight
situation.
It's not. I don't care who tells you that. Because, everybody's report is different. I've fixed people's credit in like 3 months because they didn't have much to go off of. They just had like maybe like one collection or something like that.
Right.
Other people, they've been with me for a year. They had like 90 something items on there. So, I mean, and that just goes to show you can come back from it.
Yes.
It is doable, but like with anything in life, it takes work and patience.
So think about it like when they promise you, oh, you can lose weight in 2 weeks, right? And we be like, okay, but people feed into that because we are impatient.
Yeah, we want that quick fix.
We want that quick fix. And a lot of times that quick fix actually runs us more money because we thinking that we're going to get it done quickly. And then
scan the QR code.
Okay. Actually, that's pretty dope. We're thinking that
interview pro.
Okay, exactly.
Cam the first.
Yes. We're thinking that, you know, we're gonna get a quick fix. And, you know, that's how we respond to those things. Mm-hmm. We want things to be moved fast. Mm-hmm. And then realistically, with weight loss, with credit repair, et cetera, like it takes time. So on average, what would you say, like, it's a good length of time just like for the recovery process? 3 months, 6 months?
I can't even speak to that because it depends on the credit report. I tell people all the time, I got to look at your credit report. And even still then, you know, you're arguing with the credit bureaus. So here's the thing about credit repair. And I want to be clear with this. There are laws in place. We are all considered consumers.
Right.
We have consumer laws. You have a right to privacy. You are entitled to a fair and accurate credit report. That's USC. I've been drinking. I'm probably not going to get it all the way correct. But if you look up USC, hell, if you just type it in Google, the rest will generate anyway. It's USC 15 code 1681 subsection. It's under the FCRA Fair Consumer Reporting Laws.
Google it.
Yes, Google it. Thank you. Help me out. Help me help you.
Google.
But it says you are entitled to a fair and accurate credit report. It is with extreme is grievance? No, I can't quote it word for word, but they have to make sure that your credit report is 100% accurate. So those are two things that are working in your favor. There's a whole bunch of other laws, and every violation that the credit bureaus have, that's $1,000. So you could take them to court. People do take them to court. Be like, hey, I never said you could report my information. And then on top of that, because you are entitled to your privacy, right to privacy.
Right.
Then on top of that, if you are reporting it, it needs to be 100% correct because this is hindering me from getting a car, getting a home. It's hindering my livelihood. Right. These are laws that are put in place. Yeah. And the thing is, once you know these laws, you can use them to fight the credit bureaus. So it's a whole game changer. So make sure you guys do your research, or, you know, you can hit a brother up.
For sure. So just reviewing your credit profile often, right? Just check for inaccuracies. One of the things I know for myself, because a lot of people spell my name wrong, it's Jareny, but it's spelled J-E.
Inaccuracy, right there.
Yes, exactly. And so on Experian, even right now, it shows Jereny. And so I'll be trying to hit them. I'm like, hey, can y'all change this? That's not me. And because I'm like, I'm not the one, because apparently the person that came in was Jer. That's not me. I'm just saying. So just little things like that. Just make sure that your address is up to date, right? Make sure it's spelled correctly. And
a lot of those inaccuracies, those are what tie the negative items to your account. So you want to go and update all that information, remove the inaccurate stuff. That way, when you are doing your disputing, it makes it go a lot faster. Some people, they don't remove those inaccuracies. That's what takes them longer. Okay. So we have to continue to argue with them. The credit repair agencies, they have 30 days to respond to you on every dispute you send them. Right. So literally, I'll send a letter, a dispute letter. Then we need to wait 30 days for them to respond before we can send the next letter. And then after that, we'll get their response. We'll see, what did they remove? Now, they may not remove everything all at once. They may take one or two things off. So then that's why you got to be persistent. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on how much you got on there. It depends on how they respond. At some point, they may just be like, okay, we tired of hearing from this person. Just wipe it clean. Right. But they get paid for having all that information on you and, giving it out to those other merchants, vendors, et cetera. Right. So that's why I can't necessarily give you an accurate number.
No.
So let me ask you this. So how does one remove inaccuracies on the credit report?
So there's different ways. My favorite way is sending letters. I like having a paper trail, in case I'm tired of playing with y'all. I'm going to take y'all to small claims court. And if you do take them to small claims court, it may be only $175 on your end just to file the report. They ain't gonna like that because they don't want to send people to court to defend, this when they already know they're basically going to be losing because you never gave them permission to file your information from the get-go. And that's $1,000 fine for each violation. So they'll probably hit you up immediately and try and settle. What was the question again? So much information, y'all. I just go from.
Run your credit report.
I went on a tangent from letters. Okay. So you can do letters. You can call them. You can do phone disputing. But, at that point, you're just disputing over the phone.
She said.
And then you can do online disputing. However, credit repair agencies, they've gotten slick. If you go on there, they're going to have a little, I think it's under Experian for one, and it's somewhere on the other ones. But whatever you dispute online, they have in order to dispute, you have to hit this checkbox that's saying after we do our findings, whatever we find is finalized, etc. So that's why I say always do it's better to do paper trail and do letter disputing.
Yeah, so I've learned that a lot of times when you try to dispute online, they have this expedited process. They don't really even check. And it's just they're just trying to rush and get you out the way. And I'm all right, cool. They come back a couple of days. And
got the manpower.
Right. And they're all right, cool. It looks like it's accurate, so be gone. And you already said that, you already checked this box saying whatever we find, this is going to be it. And we're not going to go back and look at this. Which is why I've always been told that you should definitely go, even though it will seem like it takes longer, you got to trust the process because you have more leverage. So it's definitely better for you to go that route versus going online because, again, everyone wants a quick fix.
Right.
And so going online may seem more convenient, seem less time consuming because you can sit there from the comforts of your home and just type it up, boom, send it out, and they'll get back to you in a couple of days. But sending a letter, there's a paper trail. They actually have to take the time and research it. And then you said within 30 days they have to respond.
Now, if there is a way to dispute online, but you're not going to dispute with the credit bureaus, you're going to dispute with CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So they have an online submission where you can send to them. They're meant to protect us, the consumers.
Right.
So they'll send that dispute to the credit bureaus. With my hand motion.
Yeah, it was like a fluid situation.
But you still got to type up your dispute to them, which you might as well type up a letter. You can attach the letter and send it to them. So kill two birds, one stone. Send the letter to the credit bureaus and then send it to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You can also send it to Better Business Bureau because at the end of the day, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, they're businesses. So they're under the BBB. You can send it to the Attorney General. If you attack from all these different methods, you'll sure enough fix your credit.
Yeah, traction there.
My main thing is I want to empower people to fix your own credit. Like, you know, you have the power to do it. In case something else happens down the line, because life happens. You may lose your job, then you get behind on the bill. Now they're reporting the stuff again. So, you know, instead of having to pay a whole nother $1,000 and whatnot to whomever, you know, you can take it upon yourself and fix it. So,
okay. So you consider yourself, so you don't actually repair people's credit. You're just a consultant.
Yeah. We have a done for you service, but we're shifting from that because on a spiritual side, like my journey in life, I tend to get overly involved in not just in business, but in just in people's lives to where it's at my detriment. Like, I really want to help them. I really want to help them. But no, it's better to empower that person so they can go through their life's journey. And because if you help them, they're not going to learn on their own.
Leading to teach them to fish. Teach them to fish, then they can fish for themselves. So, basically, I want to give people the tools, especially if they're seeking it out from me. Like, if they come to me, then, but I'm not going to do it for you. Well, so that's a great transition. So that's some great information. And, of course, if you guys want to learn more, feel free to reach out to JSR Media on Instagram or any other form. Hit us up and we'll connect you with Businessman Cam. So let's get into the whole Superman complex, because you just kind of threw it out there and I caught it. You didn't say that, but like you said that you're on the spiritual journey in which you want to just be more hands off of, you know, trying to help people. And in other podcasts, I think I referenced that I have a Superman complex where I'm growing out of it rather, where I overly involve myself in someone else's issues or dilemmas, and then it ended up backfiring because now I put myself in a situation. For example, shall remain nameless. I had a friend that actually had a flat tire, and it was raining. He was maybe 30, 35 minutes away. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead. Instead of empowering him to get it fixed on his own, I removed myself from the comforts of my home to go help this person, like, you know, in North Dallas. And I'm in, you know, south side of Dallas. And so feeling empowered, but also just feeling like, you know, I want to be able to do something. I just want to do something. Right. And so got out there, fixed his tire, or just put the spare on there. And a little later, like when I'm on my way home, I get a flat tire. Like little stuff like that. And then now...
Did he come back and help you?
No. He was already inebriated. A little too more inebriated. More so along the lines. He wasn't like intoxicated. It was more so he wasn't tipsy. He was a little tipsy, and then also he didn't have the knowledge of changes.
I'm about to say you fixed his tire, so how can we expect him to?
Right, and so like I wasn't. But the other part of that is I also have a hard time asking for help.
Yes,
I have a super hard time asking for help.
Who helps the superheroes?
Exactly. So when you made that reference earlier, I said, okay, I have the Superman complex, and I see a little bit. I see that you possibly have a little bit in you where you kind of overly involve yourself in someone, like you embody that person's problems. And the problem with that is not only are you taking on that energy but you're also putting yourself potentially in danger. Well, in harm's way, or just it could backfire on you, like it had for me. And that wasn't the only scenario. There's more than one. I believe it. But like, do you see that you may potentially have something similar, or just having that Superman complex? And how are you dealing with that? Since you say you're on this spiritual journey, how are you dealing with that?
Man. Ooh.
Is it loaded?
It seemed like it was loaded.
Well, I gave him an example of what happened to me. So
that is a very loaded question.
How are you dealing with the removing yourself from other people's problems?
Day by day. I've gotten me a spiritual coach. Shout out to OJC Adari. Pure Hermione.
The first.
No. Trey, he, she goes by many different things, but I've been a light in my life and helping me wake up to my own growth. Many things I didn't even know that I was dealing with, It's kind of like that. If you are constantly getting hit, right?
Right.
Eventually you go numb. Right. Or if you have a pain, eventually your brain trains you not to recognize it as pain.
Right.
Kind of like as a massage therapist, I would tell people this all the time. When I started working on their back, they're like, "Ooh, that's sore. I didn't know that was that sore." Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your body's been telling you over and over again, that you need to switch up what you're doing because it hurts. It's hurting you. And it just gets tired of telling you. So, because you're just not listening. So, again, shout out to she. She goes by Manny.
Okay.
For all the help that she's done for me and waking me up to the issues. So getting a mentor to help guide me through it, and just actually really facing like my inner child and all those wounds. Sometimes it may be also like a projection as well. Like, my inner child didn't get this, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give this to everyone else, but I'm not giving it to myself.
Right.
Pouring out but not receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've finally been able to take a step back and really just look and see that, like, me being Superman is not really helping the person because they're not necessarily learning how to do it for themselves.
Exactly.
And at the same time, it's also inconveniencing me. And then I'm not saying it's not wrong to help people.
Oh, no. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, like given the circumstances. But depending on the situation, like you want to empower them to try and figure it out. You don't want to hinder them from learning themselves.
Right. And also that's definitely on you to set that precedence, for one. And two, when you condition them to do that, they're going to always come back to you expecting the same type of results.
Do you watch My Hero Academia?
Do I need to be?
I was going to say, you watch it?
My son does.
So it's a little kid show?
No, it's an anime. Shout out to anime makers. When the superheroes, people get used to the superheroes coming to save them and whatnot. They don't know how to defend themselves when the superhero ain't around.
Yes. Okay.
So, and it puts a lot of pressure on the superhero as well, like you said yourself.
Exactly.
So
I took on a lot of additional, not only energies, but I added a lot more stress to my life because I was that friend. And it felt good being that friend. It does feel good to be able to help someone out, but you have to set boundaries.
And you do it out of love too, like, because nobody wants to see like their child, their mom, their dad, or anybody like that suffering or hurting. But if they're not even like helping themselves, or if they didn't even necessarily come to you asking for
sometimes
help.
We just volunteer.
Yes.
And that's what makes it worse. Voluntold myself that they need my help. Where I'm convincing myself that they need my help, that my presence is needed.
I think it's okay to understand and realize that sometimes some people ain't gonna ask you for their help.
That's true. That's true.
Pride.
Yeah.
But that is knowing that person, right? Versus someone that you may not fuck with like that, or maybe even a stranger. Like, I don't mind helping a stranger per se, but like involving my, full energy, pouring my full energy into this person I don't even know. Like it's different scenarios. I guess it's case by case.
But here's another thing that may trip you out. What do you think of that person when you think that they can't do it themselves?
What do you think of the person when you think that they can't do it themselves?
Exactly. Do you think they're incapable of helping themselves? I had to take a step back and think about that when I talked to my counselor about it. And also another person I met recently when I went to Houston, he put me on this book called Conversations with God, which is really good. Y'all should check out. But he was saying, like, do you think less of a person, like, you really need to observe yourself, like, do you feel like they can't do it when you're going out to help them? Like when you went to go help them with the car, did you feel like, oh, I need to go help them because they can't do it themselves? Or like, that may not have been the situation, but...
Well, no, it was totally the thought process for sure. Like I definitely said, well, they're out there, it's raining outside, I don't want them to get sick, they've been drinking, so why not just go help him? Like I convinced myself they need my help, right? Mm-hmm. But in that process, like I told you, I ended up getting a flat tire on my way back home. And so, like, was it a situation to where I could have just approached it differently and recommended or sent a tow truck out in lieu of me going out there? Because at least if a tow truck is a flat tire, they can fix themselves. They have the tools to kind of, alleviate that. But I don't, right? And now I have to spend additional money to bring a tow truck driver or find, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. So, the whole convincing yourself that you're needed. And then, like you were saying, what do you think of that person? Now that, are they able to help themselves? Do you feel like, do you start evaluating a lot of things? Like, are they playing me, or is this going to be a habitual thing? Or am I just looking for my next fix? You think about several things. And I think it's all three for me.
My counselor said, sometimes, Cam, and this is earlier on in my journey, you be looking to help people so you avoid helping yourself. Like, dealing with your own inner traumas.
Absolutely.
Like, as y'all were telling me earlier, I'm sensing a lot of deflection.
I find myself doing that when I become stressed in life, throwing myself even more so in work. I do that a lot, and I think you can attest to that.
He definitely does.
I'm going through something personal with going to work.
He's going to be silent. Yep.
Going to work. That's one thing that I know is consistent.
Right.
Come and get this money.
Because I might feel like shit, but as long as my bank account look okay.
When I look at it, it's looking good.
So you mentioned being, and this is going to all tie in here. You mentioned being massage therapist, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't miss that job.
So you don't miss it?
I don't.
Why don't you?
I miss it for the free massages. I ain't gonna hold you on that way, man.
Hold up, bruh.
I ain't gonna hold you on that way. Okay, hold on. Let me think real quick.
You're gonna think about why he don't miss it, bitch. I don't know. It's gonna be
You be thinking big, bitch.
Nah, what would I say? What was our goal for this podcast?
That you was gonna press a button
a few moments later.
Oh well, that was probably the best time to do it.
Tried it.
We tried.
So for those,
I got another way. Okay.
For those that they're not privy to this current conversation, there's a button on this mix board that I don't use because I don't feel that it warrants it. But like, I'll play it.
A few moments later.
So I kind of miss my cues when that happens. So that's why I don't really fuck with that button.
Liberation Station, yeah.
I could be sober and not think about it.
Look, I'm gonna set you up. Let's see if he catches on this time, audience. All right. So, as a massage therapist, one reason why I didn't like it, I will be in the massage room, right, in the dark room, just massaging the stranger. We're having some conversation, and they fall asleep.
A few moments later.
Still massaging them.
Caught it.
I'm still massaging them.
I'm fucking backing up. Wait.
I'm gonna give him another chance. I'm still massaging them.
A few moments later.
God damn, is it almost over with? I'm tired of sitting this down. All right, we're done. All right, have a good day, sir. Next person. Ah, damn, I'm back in the same position. All right. Massage now.
A few moments later.
Oh, damn, bitch, this is boring as fuck. They don't even want to talk to me. They just want to go to sleep. Just sitting in there.
So my initial question was, where I was going with that rather, was when you're doing the massages with people, you know, we talked about the Superman complex and just, you know, helping people out. I think somebody... Oh, they're smoking.
We'll get it.
It's my little rainbow ring I dropped.
It was gay. So...
Well, we can bring the...
Oh, nice. It's the plus community for me. So... running. It's
get
a running.
Get the visuals, y'all.
Yes. Look at you speaking in. You should probably lean in more. So... Side profile.
Show that nose ring.
Do you know what side is on?
I forget sometimes.
A
I really
few
want to...
moments later.
Is it here?
My God, today. So do you feel like while you were massaging anyone at any point that you felt like you were helping them through a massage?
Yes, and they would tell me that too. They're like, oh, I can move again. Yes, feel so much better. But, and there's also an energy massage therapist that was there too. And
There's an energy therapist?
yes, she does like Reiki and all this other stuff.
She does what?
Like Reiki and all this
Oh,
other
okay,
stuff.
okay.
And so, she would say she would always feel drained. She has to go back and recharge because you're dealing with people like literally energy transference. And this is way back then when I didn't even pay energy, spirituality, none of that stuff really any mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I wonder why I would just be feeling drained. I mean, of course, it's work on the body as well.
Especially all up in here.
Oh, and don't get one of those like older Chinese ladies, nothing against them, but they love a lot of pressure and they be all bone. More pressure. Dang. Okay.
Like I'm gonna break you.
That part, but they breaking me. Dang. So yeah, definitely it was draining and yeah. Definitely don't want to go back. I'll do it for my significant other. And
Okay.
I'll also teach them how to massage me.
Yeah, to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, pour into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's... But other than that, I ain't going back.
Okay.
Especially as a social butterfly as I am. I mean, you see me, I'm kind of coming back a little bit right now. But after this, I'm going back home and crawling in my bed. So
Okay, well, it just took some alcohol to go ahead and let you out that shell. I did mention about introvert. We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about that really quick, and then we'll transition here. But like, what do you consider? What do you classify yourself as? Introvert, extrovert, ambivert, or something? The first of something else.
I am Cameron Curtis Pruitt the first.
So
if we have to give it a title,
okay, you don't like labels.
yeah. I would say I'm an ambivert.
Explain that to the masses.
So everyone is familiar with extrovert, you know, the extra person that's outgoing and whatnot. Then you have your introvert that's more into themselves and they don't like a lot of that.
The recluse.
So then you have, yes, thank you. Oh, that's a good word. That's the word of the day. I'm gonna add that to my dictionary.
The Urban Dictionary?
Yeah. Recluse.
Are you a recluse?
It even sounds so profound.
Yes.
Recluse.
I'm a recluse. Google it.
But ambivert is a mix of the both.
Okay, so I call that omnivert. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, is it omnivert? Am I getting it wrong?
I would ask you to say I would say Google it, but I don't want to put you out there on the podcast. But it could be that. I've never heard that term.
I swear, I thought it was ambivert. Okay, I'm tripping. Oops. Well, y'all learned a new word today too.
It's down to the Urban Dictionary. It's great.
It's Cameron Curtis Pruitt, the first dictionary. Speak my own language.
There you go.
But nah, that's a mix of the both. So, you know, when I'm in a social setting, I could be social, but at times I like to go back and
You turn it off.
I can, turn off and I can sit at home and just watch me some anime, maybe pop a little edible.
Shout out to the edible.
Yeah, shout out to the edible and makers of those things.
Yeah, I don't have to be around people to have a good time. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm the same way. So I get it. Totally get it.
But now also, I feel like we need to come up. This is, okay, we're going to call this ambivert. Ambivert is when...
Make it work.
So determined.
Look, okay, so an ambivert is when you an extrovert, but you only want to be an extrovert with people that are pouring back into you. Meaning, that means you're kind of an introvert. You're not for everybody. You for the people that are for you type stuff.
Only the people that's the first of their kind.
Word of the day.
He's so tired.
Word of the motherfucking
Ah, man, I can't with you today. Inebriation Station, y'all. Go get you one of these.
Y'all make some noise. Y'all make some noise for Businessman Cam, y'all. And so before we vacate the premises,
I made it.
You did. The finish line is here.
All right, I can check this now.
You can check. Before we finish, how can they follow you? Right. He was so concerned about a brain freeze. How can they follow you?
So you can follow me at businessman_Cam on Instagram. What else am I on? TikTok.
Hold on.
A few moments later.
Facebook. You doing real good today, huh?
I know, right?
What was the other one you ain't used?
Absolutely fucking didn't use that one because we don't use it.
Not fucking at all.
I'm about to say y'all you pretty much cuss so like
fluently
to that, but maybe we can use it.
I'm not a recluse on that. See, I gave an example.
You should use that for cut.
For cut?
Maybe. Don't they use that for cut? You were like, and take two.
Oh, actually, I can make that sound right. To make like a cut or...
Sure.
Yeah, because he's normally the one that he's the sound bite.
But yeah, you can follow me at businessman_Cam on all social media platforms. If you want to check out my personal life, Cam the Third.
What? 1 + 2 is what?
So
wait, I'm mad at Jesus.
Okay. I'll give a little quick explanation of that. Now, of course, when I was younger, I created Cam the Third before I progressed into Cameron Pruitt the First, my own person. But
you went backwards to go forward.
It's the regression for me.
So Cam the Third is because I was me and my dad were like exactly alike, except for a couple of things. You got to get the visual package, y'all. You
come on and roll in the visual package. I love it.
Except a couple of things. But our personalities are uniquely the same. So his name is Curtis Pruitt, Jr., and my name is Cameron Curtis Pruitt. And so, like, I'm very fond of my dad. So that's where Cam the Third came from, because I was the third. I went based off Curtis Pruitt is my middle name. So yeah, that's Cam the Third thing. And that was when I was younger. I just never changed the handle. So maybe I'll change it to Cam the First now after all of this.
Thinking big, bitch.
You be thinking big, bitch.
Yeah, maybe you should look into that. So,
and then when I became my own person in college, that's when Cameron Curtis Pruitt first came. So yeah.
Okay. Well, regardless of which Cameron you brought in today, we are appreciative of you.
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. It sounded like he skipped the second one. He just went to the third one. Didn't even look back. Regardless, we appreciate you for coming on the show. Thank y'all for joining, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
Woo! I made it.
You made it.